Hey there, this is Shilpa and you are watching Learning Arc. And this is the part 2 of Learning Arc Masterclass on how to improve your English. In part 1, we gave you some amazing research and scientific tips on how to listen and how to read effectively. And this video is going to give you tips on how to write and how to speak effectively. And we are also going to give you 10 amazing tips to help you improve your English language. Okay. Now we have got techniques relating to the third language skill, which is speaking. Speaking is the true test, and the more you speak, the better you pick up. But there is a huge fear of speaking, and the most of us are so reluctant that even though the words are going through our head, we try to keep our mouth shut. So, tip number 1 is don't be afraid. Now, how do I actually practice speaking? When I live with a family, they speak in our mother tongue. And what if I have a group of friends and all of us speak in our regular language? Now here's what I suggest. Talk to 2 or 3 of your friends who are learning English together with you and perhaps trying for the TOEFL and IELTS exam as well. And decide that the 6 days of the week you are only going to speak to each other in English, no matter how bad it sounds. And only on Sunday you are allowed to speak in whichever language you are most comfortable with. How about you try talking to your pet? Now I had a friend who had no one to talk to, and whenever he got lonely, he would sit down with his little puppy and talk to him about everything. Another speaking tip is singing. So how about if you are a singer, pick up some good lyrics of some good English songs and sing your heart out. And that way, all of them will stay in your head, including the pronunciation and the accent. Some frequent mistakes that we make while speaking. For example, between the words I and me. I find most often people say, me and my friend are going to the shop. Now the tip I'm gonna give you here is, remove the part and friend and now say, me is going to the shop. Now typically you won't sound that, right? Here you will say, I'm going to the shop. Now if you say that and when you add your friend, you are supposed to say, my friend and I are going to the shop. Tip number 2 is, the friend's name comes before I. So instead of me and my friend, it actually becomes my friend and I are going to the shop. And if you think it's the I that's used all the time, how about saying Sam gave a chocolate to I? Here I sounds very wrong. So Sam gave a chocolate to me. Another tip for speaking is to record your own voice. And when you hear it, you will notice the grammar, the punctuation, the intonation, the accent. When you hear yourself live, you don't notice because you are paying so much attention to getting the right word across. But when you hear it, you will get all the corrections back automatically inside you. Now for example, there is a word like Australia and it has 3 S in it. And each of the 3 S is pronounced differently. Now English is indeed a very funny language. And the most importantly, when you are speaking, just pick up the fear and throw it out of the window. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Over the years, I have seen people sincerely trying. Even if I try to speak them in the local language, they speak back to me in English. And persistently, even though all the mistakes, sluttering and stammering, I will promise you, you will get the perfection very quickly. Let's talk about the third language skill, which is writing. How about you start writing a small journal or a diary? Every day, just one paragraph for yourself, no one else can see it. Also, you will start to notice that you frequently use only certain adjectives quite often in the journal. How about you go online and pick up those words that you use most often? For example, awesome or beautiful. That you find yourself repeating those words, go online, find the synonyms of that word and keep a diary where you note down all these synonyms. So every single day, try to use a different expression. And now, I'm gonna give you 10 amazing tips to improve your English quickly. So tip number 1 is that accept the English is a very funny language. Did you know the past tense of the read is read, but they are both felt exactly the same way? If the plural of the house is houses, then why is the plural of mouse is mice? Tip number 2 is Carry flashcards or cue cards with you whenever you go. So every time you stuck for the synonym, you can take out from your pocket and use it. Tip number 3 is sticky notes. Sticky notes come in handy. I kind of stick them in different places of my house, and that sort of comes back to me visually as well. Tip number 4 is stop being a student. Every time you think of yourself as learning English, we always almost on the back foot, and one of the biggest problems of learning English is that we are translating from the mother tongue into English. Every time we are looking for the right thing to say. Stop thinking of yourself as a native English speaker. Be confident within yourself and speak as though you are not learning anymore, but you are actually a good English speaker. And you will find slowly that you stop translating but come directly to the word that you need to say. Tip number 5 is an application that helps you convert a lot of Indian and international languages in English, and that will help you to pick up your English faster. Tip number 6 is try to solve your life's greatest problem using English. Now what happens every time we speak in English? We focus so much on the words that are coming out of our mouth that we tend to stumble and utter more. What if we focus on the life's greatest problem? And when we are talking about the problem to our friend or mother or brother or anyone in the family, try to do that in English, and you will find that by diverting your attention away from the language itself, you are speaking extremely fluently. Tip number 7 is use it or lose it. If you learn a new word today, try using it today or tomorrow at the outset. If you learn 3 words in a week, make sure you use them, otherwise you don't use it, you will lose it. Tip number 8 is don't get consumed by grammar. English grammar can be really complicated. I suggest sometimes just let go, forget about the adjectives and the adverbs, just simply speak. Tip number 9 is the most important tip. It's release the fear of being judged. Forget that someone else listening to you. Forget that you are making mistakes. Just focus on your goal and you will get there. And tip number 10 is the easiest one. It's called sleep. You will learn better when you sleep well. So make sure you sleep properly when you are learning something as challenging as the English language. And I wish you all the very best, and thank you so much for watching right till the end. And if you like our work, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next right to it. Happy watching!